All right, welcome back, everybody. After a couple weeks hiatus, I've been doing a lot of traveling. I think some may know I'm in Toronto. I was just explaining to Bernd, I've done about 3,500 kilometers in the last week of driving, so I've been quite busy and settling temporarily into something new on the east coast of Canada. So we'll see what it's like out here for a month or two. So you guys will have the same background for a little bit at least. But we're back at it now for our 6th episode. And today we have Bernd Schmidt from Phoenix Racing eSports with us, who's you guys kind of like kicked it up a notch this year. You tested the waters, I think, with IVRA last year, right?
Yes.
And so into a couple more series now, a couple more cars, and doing relatively well so far. There was I still haven't been able to watch the endurance race from Red Bull Ring back, but the parts that I have seen were amazing, and some cool pictures with you guys. So I hope it went well. Sometimes with the RC side of stuff, we don't know what's going on, and I'm sure that everybody's heard me and other people say that numerous times. But yeah, so today Bernd's with us, and we're going to learn a little bit about you guys, how the season's going, how the team in general is going, kind of what other stuff you're into, and yeah, definitely looking forward to that. So maybe we can start off with just a little introduction of who you are and how you got into sim racing, and what you do, and more about Phoenix Racing eSport.
Yeah, of course. So first of all, thanks for having me. I was really looking forward to this, and especially when I saw the other episodes, I thought I want to go into this as well. It's pretty cool. So we love the idea of that. Yeah, about me. So meanwhile, I'm 33 years old. Yeah, getting like a bit like a grandpa feel in sim racing when you see all
Right.
these absolute young talents coming in, 14, 15 years old, and they are nuts. Their driving style is just completely different to when I started back in the end of 90s on the console with like Formula One and Gran Turismo games. And when I then jumped over to PC, which is now 8 years ago, 9 years almost already. I'm now in on sim racing on a computer. Started with Project Cars back in the days. Get then pretty fast into online leagues with this as well, but figured out that's not the game you actually want to stick with. That's not the game which gives you the feeling you want to. So then I moved over to R Factor 2 for like almost 5 years. I was driving there in national leagues and also in international endurance racing, which was absolutely amazing for me. It was the first touch I had with endurance racing in sim racing. And I remember still the first race we had, 24 hours of Spa. I was so excited. I was practicing so much. I had like 500 laps on Spa only for practice in 1 week done. And it was 3 weeks to the race. So I ended up with almost 1,000 laps of practice. And yeah, my teammate drove the start. Whatever he has done, bless him all, but I can't tell you. I saw the car spinning bam against the wall. So the race was almost done after like 2 hours. And I was like, so what is this? it ain't be fun if you're only practicing. So, but we got and figured it out, and it was really cool. And started in GDE, and then said, all right, I want to go into those prototypes. And this league also had a rule where you had to go through one season before you can actually enter a prototype as well. And I was writing with the administrator of the league and was asking, so, hey, come on, I mean, isn't there any chance that we can race LMP2 for like the last races to show we are able to drive this car in a good manner with a good pace and all which is needed? And he said, all right, I'll give you the chance, but if you mess it up, you'll be kicked out of the league and you won't come back in any car.
Oh, God.
And I said, okay, I will risk it. I will risk it. So I'm glad I did, because it has been really good 2 races. I mean, position-wise, we hadn't been really up to the top, but it was stable, it was consistent, and we had been clean. And so we have been able to actually start and race LMP1. And I had 2 really fantastic seasons with the LMP1 in this series.
Nice.
My teammate then decided to say, all right, so we have won the Le Mans 24 twice in this league. Let's go and move over to iRacing because it's just a better sim. So I said, well, I don't know, it's expensive and all that stuff. And yeah, whatever, just ended up in iRacing with him. Then we left our old team because they stick to R Factor 2, which I can completely understand. And I split it up with my teammate as well as he chose another team and I was going another way. I joined then after 1.5 years into sim racing to my current team at Phoenix Racing eSport at the end of 2018, which I was absolutely happy about because I thought, how cool is that? You're now in a sim racing team, which is also a team in the real racing world, which you know from watching DTM, from VLN, and also from some other real racing series or races
Crazy.
in general. So then I thought, okay, that's cool. But I have to say, before I have been at ACS Saxpeed, and Saxpeed is also a real team. But it was like not this connection. So it was a really cool team. The guys at ACR have been really great, but it doesn't felt like you were connected with a real team. So and then I joined Phoenix and thought, all right, let's check it out. It could be the same because you don't know how really deep the real team is into this virtual racing at all. And I joined them, and the first guy I spoke to a bit more was Michael. And when I was speaking with him,
Who is Michael? Sorry,
Michael Oberdries.
Mhm.
He was second, or he was the founder, if you want to say, of the team.
Okay.
And that's because he is the main engineer from Phoenix Racing of the GT3 teams. And I was a bit surprised and thought, so, okay, how cool is that? The engineer of the team, or the main mechanic, better said, of this team is actually racing in the virtual team as well. That was really cool. And I thought, so, okay, this could actually be really interesting for me and also for all the other guys then. And I also got all the infos how close they actually really working with the team back in these days when I joined at the end of 2018, which also was just the year where Phoenix eSport was created in this way, because most of the people actually created this MSP drivers home by Phoenix Racing back in the days in 2011 when they raced Gran Turismo on console. And when they moved on to the PC as well, and they immediately joined iRacing, it was a couple of years, I think it was 2 or 3 years when they still raced under MSP. And then actually got a connection which got closer with the real team. And I do not know who actually decided it then, but they just said, okay, we want to rename not longer this MSP by Phoenix Racing. And then Phoenix Racing eSport actually has born in October 2018. And in December 2018, I joined the team. And I really enjoyed the time. And I was, doing a bit of stuff like here and there and planning some things. And I helped some on some stuff as well. And at the beginning of 2020, so almost 1.5 years I was in the team, I got asked, so do you feel like you would like to take over the main control of the team and want to manage the team and try to create something new to bring us a bit more forward and all that stuff? And I was like, yeah, why not? I mean, I did that in the past, but not with a huge team like Phoenix eSport.
Right.
And it was like, okay, that's interesting. It could be such a journey to actually lead this team and manage this team and do all that stuff. And I remember when I thought, so, okay, this may will cost you like a few hours per week to do some stuff, which it was at the beginning. But as a team growed up and as more leagues we tried to get into, as more drivers we got then as well, it was like, okay, it's definitely more than a few hours per week. So
Yeah, that's
that's
great.
quite nice. So yeah, but so far actually, really an amazing team, amazing people in the team, and also since last year when Corona hits the world quite massively, and real motorsport actually came to a proper stop from one day to the other. Everyone was just like, so what we're doing now? And I have to say that the team owner of Phoenix Racing had really great sets in his mind to say, okay, I can use this, and we can came more together with the esports team as well. I mean, he was still interested, and when we raced, and he asked Michael how was the racing and all that stuff. But last year with the coronavirus, he was like, what can we do further up the road? To how can we develop? How can we come even more together and work through these times as well? And how can he make stuff to still make it happen? Then also he can go back into real racing and all that stuff, so that the money also does not stop, and all his mechanics and all the people which are working back at the factory as well, they also needed to get paid, and but therefore they also need to do some work, of course. And then he decided and said, let's do simulators for the sim racing. And what he developed in this year with his mechanic and engineers is such amazing. It's absolutely fantastic. I mean, I can't afford one because it's a bit too expensive for me though. But the base idea behind their own rig, which they have, is so detailed and so close to the real racing car. Because for the wheel, you have buttons where you can increase or decrease the height, and also the way it's to you from your off with a mechanical switch which you press, and then it goes up or down like in a real car. Also for the
Crazy.
pedal plate, you have the same thing, so you can press the button and the pedal plate will come to you or move away from you, and you can also adjust the height like in the real GT3 car, because they actually can't adjust their seats, so they have to adjust their pedals in the rear car. And he said, hey, why do not use that on a sim rig as well? And also, which is absolutely mind-blowing for me, is he has the wheel, like we all have the wheel on top, but he has the wheel base on the bottom at the front of the rig, and he has connected the wheel with the wheelbase with these original now I'm missing the word. Great. Awesome.
That's all right. It'll come.
This bar which you have in the car, which is connected with the wheel and then goes into the mechanic. Do not know if you know what I mean. I know the word in German. Let me Google that
Like
real
the
quick.
shaft, or like it's going connecting to the axle or something.
Yeah, exactly. This is this one like what's that called in English? God damn it.
Yeah, have a search. That's all right. We'll keep talking while you're looking there. So it's like it's basically like a pseudo car that like it jacks up and down. So like they could, if they wanted to, they could simulate pit stops, even like having their crew there to just, you know what I mean, like pop it up or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So now I got it. The handlebar, which is connected from the wheel in the rig down to the wheelbase, and it's the original handlebar of an Audi R8 GT3.
Cool.
And that's just amazing. So, like these details, absolutely blistering. It also has motion in it, and yeah, well, it's absolutely fantastic. So, if you want to have a look at it, just check out Phoenix Sim. There you can click through and watch all the pictures. It also has, if I remember correctly, there's a video on YouTube where you can see it as well, where is it in action and got tested by a driver from us and another sim racer and a real racer as well. So that's really cool stuff which they have produced over the last year when the pandemic hits that hard and no one could go racing. And they also just produced a few wheels, like the real replicas of the Audi DTM wheel and an Audi GT3 wheel, which has also the real shift pedals and the real knobs they had in the car as well with LED backlighting. So
Sick.
exactly the same, which is in the car, is also there for sim racing. So
How much
really
work
hats
was
off to
that for
that.
them? Because like if you look at some of the new Fanatec stuff, like the BMW wheel and the Bentley wheel, it's basically, buy it and you're good for either. It's just a literally just plug and play type thing, right? So with what did they do for the Audi? Like how did they just kind of like rig it so that it plugged in and they had to just set the buttons up and configure it themselves? Like what kind of development was there for that? Do you know? Like it's pretty cool they're
Um,
using the real one.
so as far as I know, they actually just spoke with the guys who are making the real wheels, and they
Mm-hmm.
asked them, "Can we do this wheel, but just for using on a computer for sim racing? So without
Mm-hmm.
all these options you need on the car, like for wipers and drink and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
just to figure it out and go another way using a bit of another technique which is inside the wheel."
Yeah.
And they said, of course we can do that. And so they just figured out, what do we need to do, what buttons do we need, which things can you handle in the sim. So do you need a wiper? Does the sim has a wiper? So do we need a button for this, or how would it work? Or is it just a one-way toggle? Is it a two-way toggle? Need you something which is a rotary encoder? Or so what can be used in the sim as well? So what can be really translated 101 from the real to the
Mm-hmm.
sim? And that's what they worked out. They just, it looks exactly the same. It has exactly the same buttons, but it's just concepted for using on the PC. So I'm not sure right now if you can use it in the car as well. Um, Need to ask that, of course.
Mm-hmm. But they
But
basically like manufactured the regular one and just kind of tuned it so that they could plug it in. Yeah. That's super
exactly,
cool. Yeah.
exactly. So it also has on the back of the wheel, it has the same logo as the real one because it's manufactured by the same one who did the real wheel as well. So
Sick.
it's absolutely cool. So I think for an absolute fan and for someone who says this car, like the Audi DTM, this was my car which I followed through the couple of years and all that stuff, and to have this wheel then in the rig as well, I think it's pretty amazing. Also the LED lightnings you have, they just triggered like in real life, so that when you not press it, it has a red circle. You press it, it gets a green circle. Or some of them just, as an example, if you press the pit limiter, it's flashing then in white lightning, and you also can adjust which colors you want and how bright the lightning should be. And so that's absolutely amazing. So
Mm-hmm.
I just saw the video. Unfortunately, I couldn't test it myself so far, but from that what I saw in the video, and also from one of our guys which has it in his rig, and he made some videos with his phone. It looks so amazing. And when you then Google the DTM reel of the Audi, and you watch that picture and you watch this video footage, you say, okay, that's
Yeah.
absolutely great. I mean, Fanatic, of course, does a really great job as
Mm-hmm.
well. But I don't know. I mean, a bit, yeah, biased as well. But
That's
it's
cool,
just
man.
amazing, really
Very
have to
cool.
say.
So
So,
did any of the guys, from the real life team jump in with you guys for special events or anything like that on the sim side? And did you guys like kind of go through things with them when that all started to happen, or did they kind of create this and then kind of practice on their own as the team on that side? You know what I mean?
yeah, so basically, for like the official races or the special events through the year, this is all on our own. So it's just us, the sim team, doing all that stuff. But we had last year in, I think it was December, um, there was an 24-hour race on the Assetto Corsa, and they said, "Hey, we have the new simulators ready, and we need to stress test them. So, do you guys mind to come over to our factory? We build them up here, and you just do this 24-hour race here at the factory." Of course, you can't be all in the room at the same time because of Corona, so only the drivers and You need the distance between both rigs, and you can have this socialing like you would like to, because it's the rival, so we need to keep distance and all that stuff. But it was so cool. They also just built like this pit stand in their basement between the rigs, so you had the distance due to this. And also they connected the rigs with this like pit wall stand to get all the data from the sim, and to say, okay, you can do this. And that was absolutely amazing. And we said, okay, we need to do this once again. When Corona is a bit easier, we can socialize a bit more, we can speak more, and we can all be in the same room. And then this year at the Sim Racing Expo at the Nürburgring, there was this GT500 race, and we took part with 2 cars, and we just chose the option to get these team boxes. So we had like 2 team boxes up, or it was more or less 1 team box with both rigs in. And they also, and that was just amazing. Unfortunately, I couldn't go there, but I saw the pictures, and they had both their own rigs in this box, and also this pit wall thingy mounted once again with all the monitors in, and the real racing engineer was sitting there as well. They all had their headsets almost connected with the drivers.
That's crazy.
So that was so amazing. And as well, they just
are there pictures up somewhere where we can check that out?
Yeah, I think we should have, because the greatest thing I saw on the pictures was actually the real Audi R8 GT3, which was standing directly beside of this box. So they actually just brought the real car as well with it. Give me a sec. I have here this link. Do we have another picture of that on here? What's this? It's a couple of. Yeah, that actually shows it quite well. Just sending it to you on Discord. So cool, that's one.
I'll post it up with the announcement too, so people can have a look once we throw it up.
There are some other pictures. I can also I have a couple of them on the phone as well, so I definitely can send you some separated from the Instagram posts now. Then,
oh yeah, nice. That's dope.
On there as well, but there you just can get a bit of an imagine what it looked like. And so that was absolutely crazy. I know also now in December there's what is it? I think it's a 24-hour race at the Nordschleife. Also in iRacing, and as far as I know, the people are once again invited to go to the Phoenix basement, and they will build up the rigs there once again, so they can race there in the Phoenix basement once more. And during this race, there will be the sim rigs from Phoenix as well. And yeah, so we are really connected with the real team by now.
That's awesome.
I think it will go a bit closer, and yeah, it's getting a really good way, I have to say. So as worse as the pandemic is, but for this connection, actually, it was absolutely great. And it actually grow and get even more connected. And also have the info that one of the engineers from Phoenix actually said, so, hey, do you know, they want to come over more often, like to race here at the factory and do the sim races here, and we can do the engineering stuff over the winter. And so and he's really happy to see
that's
a
sick.
bunch of the drivers as well. So that's really cool, I have to say, of course.
It's very cool, man. So, heading into the winter, do you guys have any plans as a team aside from that? Obviously, like a lot going on with us within IVRA and you guys, but like, do you have any other series or special events coming up that you're looking forward to, or just general things within the team?
General, of course, we actually just want to try to get better and better, so that our really fast drivers grow even more, getting more faster, which makes me a bit sad because in the sense that I'm getting even bigger.
I hear you on that one, man.
But so yeah, in general, we just like to grow. I would say like in to get even more professional, to get even faster, to you get up to into the top splits and in special events at some point. So this year we had been in top split once, and most of the times in the second split, and we almost won all the second split races, almost.
Ooh,
So it has been a
nice.
really successful year for sure.
Yep.
And it's hard to say, okay, we need to go up even more because the next step is the top split. But winning in the top split is just a complete different thing because,
Yeah.
Max Beneke, so all the guys from Team Redline, all the re-racing guys, especially in Redline with Max Verstappen, he's blistering fast in sim racing as well. This is amazing. So, and to
Yeah.
beat those guys, then this is, I do not know if it's a possible step, but to have the mind, or the thought, let's get onto it and try it with the time. I mean, we have time. We have a bunch of young drivers, so they can develop. They can maybe get there at some point. And this is a goal, definitely, but it's a long-term goal. And so then, of course, IVRA is a big thing for us as well because it's just the unfortunately, I have to say the only endurance league we were racing in for this season, the 21-22 season, because we actually tried also to qualify for like Neo and SCO, which are the other two big ones. Unfortunately, it didn't make the way it should, but yeah, whatever can happen. And so we completely focused now on IVRA, especially after last season where we had such tough luck in the first races, where we got bumped out twice in a row, which was really upset. And we really thought, so what the heck? Why? So then we had the podium last year at Barber, which was such this moment where we thought, okay, now getting started, we can go up from here and start the season new. Next race, we get bumped out once again. So it was like,
The worst.
why? So it's just, yeah, if you have shit on your foods, you will have them. So you won't get rid of them. So, and then we said, all right, doesn't matter. Forget the last season. It was a good experience. We knew we had the pace, especially in GDE. And then we thought, all right, let's go into it once again. And let's go into all classes. Let's go prototypes, GDE, GD3. And we have been so happy, especially our LMP2 drivers has been so happy that someone withdrew and we could get the spot.
Nice.
Unfortunately, GT3 pre-quali doesn't work out as it has been planned, but that's definitely a thing then for next year because we want to have a car in every class in IVRA Endurance.
Nice.
And so far, we really enjoy the season. I mean, first round for the GTE was a bit tricky as he got turned, but only turned, not completely destroyed. I mean, it destroyed the race, yes, of course, but it wasn't that bad because it wasn't a DNF, so we could drive to the finish line and collect some points, which was really important.
Nice.
And MP2 had some other issues due to the web page where I added all the drivers, and for whatever reason, then they haven't been added on the page, and they got disqualified for that. And I was texting with Casper and said, "Oh, come on!" So and they could go back into the race, but it was a bit of a downer as well. But I said to the guys, "Hey, come on, it can happen." So sometimes those web pages not working all the time as they should, so it doesn't matter. And keep it on. And now in round 2 was definitely a good one. I mean, there's room to improve in both classes, of course, to just get a bit more up. Not only pace wise, it's also strategic. With the pace car sequences we have, how to use them, especially LMP2 drivers are new to this. So they also need to figure out which strategies should we go, which is the best pitting all the time, or may stay out, may come a bit earlier, or it's just a bit like that to get this balanced out and figuring out which way is the best. But they're really happy. They're having a bunch of fun, and
That's great.
I think they can develop definitely through the season to get where they want to be. And then, of course, all the other series of IVRA, we won car in the Cup Sports series in the Cup class, which these guys are really looking forward to drive this new Cup Porsche now once again.
Oh, it's so good.
It's amazing. I mean, I love the old one as well because it was a bit bitchy on the rear end, so which was like, come on, you can try to kill me, but I tell you, no, you won't, and it almost killed me either way. So,
I love
but the new one is just, it's amazing. It's just
solid,
it still has this little bit bitchy rear end, but it's just a little bit left from this. But it rolls like so fine and smooth, fast, and I don't know. So the only thing I'm not really looking forward to is when rain hits iRacing. I do not know if it's then still that great to drive. It could miss a bit of downforce then when in the wets.
True.
But it's just an amazing car, and we're looking forward to see our people driving this car in the Cup Sport Series, and how they will or which results they will get throughout the season. And then also we have one driver left in the Club Cup, which was last year absolutely great for us, as the 3 drivers we had in, they just showed how amazing they are with this little and slow car. I mean, I don't like it that much, I really have to say, but these guys really enjoyed it, and Dustin also won the Drivers' Championship last season, which was absolutely cool for us as well. And this year we have only one driver left, and he's none of those 3 which drove last year. But he's enjoying it very well as well. So it's cool. It's a lot of fun, but he actually needs to get into it because he said it's definitely different to the officials. So it's complete other racing and other driving style. It's better. You can race harder. And he said he's looking forward to drive the rest of the season as well. So really cool to getting this feedback as well from the drivers, which makes me happy because I know, okay, they will enjoy it. And as long as the drivers enjoy the series, I also have a bit of a relaxed position because I can say, okay, just do what you want to do. And I do not need to push them and say, practice for this and do the laps and think about this, think about that. So it's a bit of of their own flow they can create when they're just enjoying it, which is definitely cool.
Exactly. That's totally it, man. Yep. Very, very important. Sorry, go ahead.
So, all good. And so for next year, we're definitely looking into to get into the GT3 series as well, so that we can definitely say exactly, so that we can say we have a car in for real every series you guys offer, because we really have to say that the administration, the race controlling, all that stuff, the streams, which are absolutely brilliant, I love them. All the overall package of this league is absolutely great, which I decided as well to call out all the leagues this year once again for all the drivers we have, to say, hey, check this out, check the rules, check the schedules, if the dates fitting, if the tracks fitting, and if you're interested in, give me a response, and I will bring you in this. And we managed
cool.
it.
Thanks, man.
No problem. You're welcome. It's definitely cool. So also, if you have some issues, you guys responding really fast, which is absolutely great. So of course, we're definitely looking forward to run through the current season. Definitely also racing next year once again in IVRA. I hope in every series for sure. In the endurance, that's one which is absolutely clear, because I love endurance racing, and most of us do as well. And you need just another endurance racing beside of the special events as well. I mean, special events are really cool, but it's official racing, and official racing can be rude. So
it's true. That's something I'm gonna call them out. I'm just gonna call them out. That's what we're gonna do. It's like the official ones are great, it's like you were talking about the top split stuff earlier, where you just it's like being able to hang with those guys is next to impossible, which is fair. But I would love to see how they handled a sim like where you're doing a special event like that is like what we do, where you've got full safety cars, full stewards, and it's not just like you're hot lapping for X number of hours and then the next guy's hot lapping, you know what I mean? It's like it's, you can't do stupid stuff, and you can't just, you know what I mean, like barge your way through, and you've got to strategize, because personally, I think it's a completely different beast. And, just because you're super fast doesn't mean that you're going to finish on top, coming into something like this. There's a good chance you still will, but
Yeah, of course.
it's a different beast, and I would love to see it. So that's my call out.
Yeah, yeah.
Something in the Triple Crown would be great.
Oh yeah.
If we were to add something, what would be something that you would want to see? Just talking about having somebody in every series next season. If we were to add something new, what's something that you would want to see?
Well, for me, I mean, I'm a huge fan of NASCAR racing.
Oh, okay,
So
all right.
like driving in circuits and only turning left is it's more than it sounds like, or you have to say.
I agree. Yeah,
Um,
and it is fun too. Yeah.
oh yeah, it's complete. It's I mean, if you know about setting up setups for GT3 a prototype or anything, forget all about what you know. It's complete other
Yeah.
field. So yeah, of course, something like that would be definitely cool. So especially for me, but I have to say, so like I was always thinking about getting an IMSA, so the real IMSA into it, but that's almost what IVRA Endurance is all about currently.
Mm,
These classes, I do not know how long we will see it in the real IMSA because GDE is dying, GD3 is
yeah.
dying, so it's I don't know. Let's see what the future brings, but beside of that, I mean, you actually covering almost the most interesting stuff I would like to say. So multi-class endurance, multi-class sprint racing, like the Cup Sport Series isn't that sprint racing at all. It's also it's just
Yeah.
a
Middle
mid
range
thing
endurance. Like, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So which but covers the cup cars like the TCRs, the cup Porsches, and the GT4s. If I
GT4s. It's a great mix. It's a really good mix. Yeah.
so also this is covered, and then with the club cup you have this. So it's really hard to say, but I think just a Porsche cup. So with a
Mm,
new cup Porsche, like something like this, and I don't know, maybe a short term season. So nothing with like 10 or 12 races. So just 5, 6 races,
mm.
maybe 2 races at one day, 20 minutes per race. So it's really just sprint, just go for it, but go for it in a fair way. So not just like turn one, yeet them all. So
Yeah.
you just need to
Yeah.
fight for that. So I don't know, maybe something like this, or of course open readers. Just the thing as well. I
Mm.
mean, you can't do any multi-class thing in open reader, so you can, but I don't
Technically
think it
you
will
could.
be.
Yeah. It's a little silly, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe with the Indy cars at road courses, so a mix of road
Be
courses
cool.
and ovals or something. I think that could be
Mhm.
really interesting as well because there. So as far as I know, there isn't any IndyCar league out at any given point. So maybe some American leagues, which I do not know,
Yeah.
may
But a bigger
exist.
one. Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that. I just had a buddy on my graphite team asking me about that the other day, just wondering if there was, and like originally like Apex was something that came to mind
Mhm.
because they've got kind of some series similar to that, but I think it's like the Formula 2.0 maybe. Anyways, it's something else. And yeah, I can't think of any either. Which is strange. I thought like it would have been around somewhere. Um, but yeah, I guess yeah, I could call it that one. But yeah, I think yeah. I mean, I'm not sure what's in the cards, and it's stuff we always talk about. But it's always good too to hear what other people do outside of just our stuff or other organized things in official races. Like NASCAR. Do you normally do that in official, or is it league stuff?
I did it official, but then I just changed to league because I was wrecked so often in officials. So I remember this one Daytona week where I thought the highlights go, I love Daytona, I love this pack racing. So just
Yeah.
recognized story. So I was close to 2K I rating. I did like 10 races. I was down to 1K I rating because I got yeeted in every freaking race. I
Oh
was
my
like,
god.
oh gosh, I do not want to do Daytona and officials once more. So that's done for me. Talladega as well because it's another super speedway.
Hmm.
So and then I drove up my I rating to almost 2K once again, and then I just decided, okay, I just want to do league races. It's a bit more relaxed because you also have the rules you have to follow, and it was quite fun, but I needed a break this year because they are racing every Sunday. So you're
Wow, it's a
almost
lot.
driving every Sunday evening in a year, because they say they're following the real one. So you got 18 races in the first half of the year, and then 18 in the second. And both are there. So you have the season 1 and season 2, and it's every Sunday, and it's blowing your mind. So especially when you do special events and during the race, or like IVRA or other leagues as well, and okay, you have a week coming up, there's a special event on a Saturday, there's like either on the Saturday or anything, or there's like another league on Friday, and then you have the NASCAR race on Sunday as well. And they drive 50% of the real race length, so those races are almost always 1.5 to 2 hours, and you're racing it by yourself, and God damn it, you have 3 days, 3 races, 3 different types of cars. Wow.
It's a lot. Yeah.
It's definitely a lot. And I raced all series they had. So they had like the trucks, the Xfinity, and the Cups. So the Xfinity was Wednesday, every 2 weeks. The trucks was the other Wednesday, so it was like every Wednesday and every Sunday. And yeah, I did that for almost 3 years, and then I said, okay, well, I need a break because that's getting too much, and I also want to focus a bit more once again on the special events without having this mind in the head as well. So you need to practice for this oval as well. So where to go? Yeah. So definitely next year, because of the new gen cars, which are already in iRacing, but they will be driven in this oval league then as well, the Cup class. And I definitely will give it a shot for at least one season, because these new gen NASCARs, they are brilliant. I mean, I love the Gen 6 now, because the Gen 6, if you set it up a bit more loose, you can have so much fun and you can drive so fast into those corners. But the new ones with its big diffuser on the back end, this gives you so much downforce on those cars, which is absolutely amazing. I thought, so okay, this will may kill this emotion you can have in the NASCAR in the oval, but actually it doesn't. So the car can still go hardly over the rear end, but it's just not snap on you that much often, which definitely is better. And I really have to say, driving on the road courses with the new gen is much more fun, because it feels like a bit more like a GT car, just a bit, because you have this more downforce at the rear end, which makes it a bit more drivable, or a bit more like you can feel it a bit better in the corners. It's not like that you think, so if I drive a bit too fast in this, I definitely get yeeted completely by myself, or better said, by the car. So this gives you a bit better response on the road courses as well, which I think is really interesting, because if you watch the real NASCAR racing schedule, they are moving a bit to more road courses as well. And if iRacing will do the same, which I believe, because you have the official Coca-Cola eNASCAR as well, I think this could be really interesting then for the road course racing as well with the new chain cars, because they feel definitely much better on it. It's like a bit the same if you know the V8s, the old CV8s we had, and then the new one came. The new one also has been more reliable, more stable while driving. It's a bit of the same with the new gen of the NASCAR, I would say. So just to compare that a bit and get a feeling for what I mean, especially for those who may not drive these cars. But yeah, I really like it. I really love it. Could be really interesting. The only thing which will be boring are the pit stops then, because you don't have multiple lap nuts, because they're also getting single nut wheels for next year, which is a bit sad. So the sounding will be missed in iRacing as well, because you have the pit crew coming over and this beep, 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 beep. I love it. It's just great. So I mean, a whole movie, the best scene of one whole movie was created by NASCAR. If you know Cars, the movie.
Yeah,
where you have this little green car who's doing this absolute great job. So that's amazing. So
that's awesome.
without NASCAR, we wouldn't have this scene. So
Yeah.
it's a bit sad to lose this, but yeah, also those have a bit to go and develop a new technique as well. So
nice. What are you looking more forward to, or I guess the other way you could ask that is, what are you more scared about, driving in the rain with those, or regular road circuit cars?
good question. I don't know. I mean,
I feel like it could get crazy in the NASCAR cars.
yeah,
Like it can go sideways pretty quickly.
oh yeah, that of course. And
I don't know how it would work on an oval though. Like, I don't know. And that's
so,
probably why I ask, is I don't really I can't really imagine it because I don't do that much oval racing,
So I
or
think,
watch NASCAR.
I mean, in real life, currently, if it rains, red flag, and
Right.
then you have rain delays, which can be, we have learned it last year, longest rain delay, 4 days. Was amazing. Yeah, no joke.
That's insane.
The race should have been held on a Sunday evening in German time, which was like Sunday afternoon in US time. And they had such a monsoon at this track, which was absolutely insane. And then I said, okay, we will hold it on Monday. You turn on the TV on Monday and you saw the chat drivers and you thought, oh no. It was watching chat drivers for like 4 hours and then they said, okay, we will put it on Tuesday. Let's see. Tuesday, the same thing as well. On Wednesday, the same thing. And on Thursday, finally we had the race. And I mean, for me as a spectator at home, it was like so nerve-wracking because I thought, okay, we will see something else than chat drivers. But for the rear drivers, they had the race on a Thursday. And on the following Saturday, they had the next race on the other coast of the States. So, like,
holy,
what the heck would this have been for the teams, for the drivers? So, but respect for NASCAR that they actually even tried it. I mean, look at that Formula One at Spa. It rained. They decided to drive 2 laps behind the safety car to get it in the books. That's it. Right? So, and they could have made it the same way because the following race was actually in the Netherlands, and from Belgium to the Netherlands, well, that's not so far. I mean, from Belgium to Abu Dhabi or something, I would have said, all right, you really need to get all away from the track today. But to the Netherlands, I mean, come on. You could have hold the most important things at the track and moved this what you not need to the Netherlands and hold the race on a Monday. So, but yeah, well. But coming back to your question, so I do not know. I mean, when the NASCAR is getting rain tires in iRacing, it will be definitely interesting to drive them in the rain, especially in the oval as well, because yeah, you have the banking. I don't know. It could be like when rivers coming down the track. I don't know how many grip you actually will have. Also depends on how iRacing actually will develop the rain then. We don't know
because they do it on the road tracks that they do race at, right? Like if there's rain, they'll race on the road tracks. Yes. Okay, right.
So at Sonoma or Watkins or so, they're racing even if it's raining. That's also when the car have wipers on. Not every car. It's when the driver says he will have it on the car, just in case. Then they can get it on, and if they don't have it on and it starts raining, they come into the pits and they will get this wiper clicked in onto the car so that they still can get it. But yeah, I mean, it will be interesting if iRacing really brings rain tires or wet tires, better said, for the NASCARs. I think it will be definitely hard to drive them because they don't have any flaps or big wings or anything like a GDE or GT3
just a big bucket.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just trying to push around with a motor, like.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just this big V8, and yeah, let's go. Just let's roll it up and see what happens.
Yeah.
But funny. All in all, I'm really excited about the rain coming. I mean, I'm not really looking forward to because I know the rain from R-Factor 2. It wasn't bad at R-Factor 2, but I had one 24-hour race at Le Mans. It started raining. After 2 hours, it got dry, so it changed the dry tires. I was 15 minutes out of the pit, and it just began once again to rain. And you have this in a 24-hour cycle, rain, no rain, trying track, once again getting wet, and you have all this all the way through. I mean, a 24-hour race is hard, but to have this circumstances, then wow, it's yeah, it's really mind blowing, and it definitely your brain is at some point it just goes nom nom nom. I do not want to do this any longer.
Yeah, time to check out for a while. Yeah,
that's funny. And of course it's a bunch of work which also comes to all the drivers in terms of creating the setups, because you need a setup which is good in the dry. You need a setup which is definitely good in absolute wet conditions, and you need this mid range setup which can drive in both or in up drying conditions and all that stuff. So I know now currently you just build a setup for the track, for the car, where you think, okay, this is going to go the fastest. They can brake the latest, they can go through the corners in the fastest way possible, which suits all your drivers, but it's one setup. So, and with rain, you actually need to build for almost every race where real weather conditions are enabled. You need to build 3 setups: a dry setup, a wet setup, and a mid setup. And all those 3 setups need to fit all 3 drivers in all 3 conditions.
It's a lot of time.
Yeah, definitely. So that's the only reason why I'm not looking that much forward to rain, because I know how much work this will bring. But it also depends, I think, on how iRacing actually will set it up. So how the track will feel like when it's getting wet. If you have this wet racing line, like in real life, where you do not longer drive the standard driving line, we go away where we'll drive the corners more on the outside to not get on the wet rubber and all that stuff. I do not know if it's possible to simulate it this accurately in a sim. But
I think that's going to be cool. I'm really like, it sounds like the way they're modeling it is going to be like pretty intensive, and that would be possible maybe. But yeah, I agree. If it is like that, it's going to be dope.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, if you see the day and night, they worked on this like 2 or almost 3 years until it actually came out. And when they showed the first video 2 weeks or some before it came out, this video at the Nordschleife where you saw the sun rising, and I thought, oh my gosh. I mean, I knew it from Africa too. So I knew the feeling when sun is rising, when the sun is set and all this stuff. But iRacing just made it in just a complete new way with the shadows moving and with this really red glare when the sun comes up, and it's this completely red ball, and it's just getting brighter and brighter. Which just
even inside the cockpit, the way that like the lights reflecting and lighting up different areas, like I think that was the biggest thing that got me. And I think it was at Spa when it first came out, and so we were testing it out, and I came around. Where was it? It was coming up to Blanchimont, and just coming from behind, all of a sudden everything in my car was lighting up these different oranges. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is amazing. Yeah.
That was absolutely great. And I think they are working on the rain also is like almost 2 or 3 years now. And if they put the same amount of like detailed and this really like getting real feeling which you have with a sun, with a day and night circle, if they put the same amount of effort and all that stuff into the rain, I think it really can be absolutely dope and be a complete new rain immersion in sim racing. Because I mean, you have it in Africa too, you have it in Assetto Corsa Competizione, but I hear the same thing from both. So I know from Africa too, it's not that perfect. It's great, but if it's 100% wet, it just feels like you're driving on eggs. So also in ACC, so from what I hear, it's just not that perfect or not that real how it really is. So I'm looking forward to that, to test it out and to see how it works, how they developed it, and if it's a complete new one or is it just like a bit that it feels like a bit more copy and paste from one of the others, or if it's a mix from both of the others. So I think this was the most important thing. And I mean, also, which comes with this is, of course, how do we develop the track temps, because when it's raining, the track temp is also falling even faster, so the track is cooling even faster. And also when it stops raining, sun comes back out, it dries up. How fastly will it also getting hot once again? And how will this get on the tires? And how do you need the tire windows then to change from red to dries and all that stuff? So there's so much questions in my mind currently where I'm thinking, so which way do I want to go? What do we have to expect, and what do we get at the end? And that's what was the most interesting. I think when this comes out, just starting a server, pull it out, and going crazy.
I hope that our Christmas breaks are going to be filled with trying out the rain. Hopefully it's that soon. I mean, who knows? But yeah, the sooner the better. I'm super stoked.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Me too.
Yeah. So now we have a winter break.
Almost summer.
What's that?
Almost summer.
Almost summer. Yeah. Do you have any plans for like travel or anything like that? Or I guess you guys are still kind of locked down in Germany.
Yeah. So I don't know about the other drivers, which are their plans. But so for me personally, I will definitely stay at home, especially if I don't have a car currently, because how to say quite nicely, a bit of a person just had a thought in his mind to overtake on the right side in the town, and then to crash into my car directly on my front wheel. And I have a front wheel driven car, and so one part of the car actually isn't available, and I'm waiting on this like since 9 weeks now, and I got told by the mechanical guy I shouldn't expect the thing arriving this year. So this makes any plans in terms of I can drive somewhere a bit
kind of stuck for a bit.
Yeah, definitely. So at some point I can loan a car from a friend, but that's what I needed for here to go shopping or anything. Or to actually go to an appointment or something. But yeah, it's a bit bad. It's also the pandemic, of course, hitting.
Yeah.
I mean, almost everyone. I mean, look at graphic cards or something that are also not available or really rarely available, and everything which is electronic parts. So yeah, it makes my plans a bit hard. So therefore, I will stay here. I know some of my teammates definitely will drive to the Phoenix basement in December for this race, which I would like to as well. But maybe I have a chance, but don't really thinking on that, because otherwise we'll get mad if I won't have a chance. But yeah, I mean, so far I will definitely stay here and then enjoy the winter here at the lake. It's always cool when you have the dust on the lake and this fresh air then when the lake gets freezed a little bit. So at the beginning, so it's a really cool view. So I will definitely enjoy this. And,
nice. What part of Germany are you in?
Completely in the south. So I do not know if Lake of Constance is something you know. It's the lake which combines Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. So you have Austrian part on the lake, a Swiss part, and the German part. And I'm living on the German part.
Cool.
So it's really cool because I also just need almost 10 minutes in the car when I have one. And I can be in Switzerland to just buy some chocolate, because Swiss chocolate is amazing, I really have to say.
It is. It lives up to the hype. Okay, nice.
Yeah, it's absolutely cool. So it's a cool place. Not in the summer, because of course, the most people saying you live where actually we make vacation. So there's a bunch of people which are enjoying their holidays here, and in summer the whole city is just bunched up and completely filled up with people. You cannot sit on the lake at all because everyone is there. So I mean, of course, I can understand it because it's great, but it's not great if you live here. I mean, I think it's the same for all the people which living in Italy at the sea or something. I mean, they have the same.
Yeah, 100%.
So
that's cool.
Fair
it looks
enough.
cool. I just looked up on the map here. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I think same for me though, man. It's like not much, just kind of staying put. And yeah, I suspect same for most people likely. Depending on where you are in the world too, right? Like different restrictions and such. And it's strange, like everywhere, it's still very, very different. Actually, so I'm in PEI right now, and that's an island, and so coming to it, it's like you have to get a quick test when you come, and you have to apply for this pass that lets you be exempt from isolating because you've got your vaccinations or whatever. But it's like going to a new country almost, like where it's like you've got to get tested, you've got to do all this other stuff. But between provinces, driving here was like just drive through like nothing was there. You know what I mean? So that kind of stuff definitely plays a role too, if people can at all. But yeah, so we've got that bigger break, and we're back into the second part of the season now. Are you guys happy that it'll be a grand championship, like combining the 6 races in endurance instead of the 3 and 3?
Yeah, definitely. So first of all, when we saw the 3 and 3, we thought, say, all right, what's that? 3 race season? I mean, what if you get ripped in one race, your whole season is done. So you can't even catch up. And then we thought, okay, we'll get this getting combined. And when you announced so it will get combined, it was like, yes, we have a chance to get right back. So that's awesome. But I really like the idea of that you have it splitted so that you have like a fall champion and a spring champion, but you also have the overall champion. So that's a really cool thing, that just splitting it so that you still can also achieve the little title, I would like to say. I mean, if the first half is absolutely going well and you're getting the full champion, it's a cool one because it's just a little title. So, I mean, you still have to fight for the grand champ, but I really like the idea of splitting it, but I wouldn't have liked the idea of just really make it a 3 race season, another 3 race season. So I mean, 6
it's true.
races.
It doesn't. Yeah, you have and that's kind of like one of the great things with endurance over like 6 to 8 races, is that with that season you always have a chance to get back into it. Like it's just a larger scale of what a single race in endurance is, right? Like something goes wrong, but you can get yourself back into it, like through fighting and strategy and whatever. The same thing with the season, like you have one bad race and it's not the end of all your hopes. Exactly. So yeah, that's great. And then what about Club Cup and Club Sport? How are things, like how are you seeing that progressing right now? Like we talked earlier, you guys were kind of enjoying it so far, but how have the races been going? What is positioning like?
Club Cup actually, was like midfield. Our driver said, so as I said, it's a bit new because it's a complete other driving style than the officials. But he's enjoying it, and he tries to get up and get a bit more on speed. But so far, that's definitely working out quite nicely, I have to say. And in the Club Sport Series, there's round 2 now, next up.
Mid-Ohio, this weekend.
Exactly.
So it's gonna be an interesting one.
Oh yeah, I mean, round 1 we actually missed out because of the GT500 at the Sim Expo, because the drivers which has been starting in the Club Sport has been at the ring, so it was a bit tricky to say, okay, you can do both. So therefore, can't say how it's going on so far. The only thing I can say is that the guy is really looking forward to it. Really happy to get into the new Cup car and turn their first laps then in a race or in a league race, better said, then this weekend. And I hope it's going good. I mean, should be, because the drivers definitely capable of create some really good racing in our car. And yeah, really looking forward. And we'll definitely watch the stream as well to watch what my drivers are doing and also what the other drivers are doing to get a feeling of how's it working. Because last year I just not followed it that much. I just also watched. I always watch the results because still interested how the races has been finished, but I didn't watch the races that much. So sometimes just turn in, watch like 10, 15 minutes, and then was like, okay, it's good. It looks great. It definitely could be interesting. That's the reason why I then told my drivers, anyone interested into going into this
Yeah.
and doing this. So therefore really looking forward. And fingers crossed for especially my drivers, but of course for every drivers taking part, that we will have such an amazing racing, which has everything which is needed, like fair, close, and hard racing. That's all what I'm asking for in every race, either from
Yeah.
driving or only watching. But really looking forward to that.
Sweet. Nice. Cool, man. Well, that was a good one. I think I've got to kind of wrap it up here, but I think that was cool to get to know Phoenix a little more, and just how everything ties in and how you guys are doing. And it looks like you guys have a really positive outlook on everything, and that it is really cool that things are kind of ramping up with meshing those two together. Any kind of last thoughts or anything that you wanted to shout out before we wrap things up here?
Of course. As I said once, really big shout out to you guys for really bringing such great racing to, I think, all of the participants in all series. It's really great, enjoying it to race, to watch, and also to communicate on the Discord server. Even if I'm not doing it as much as I would like to, but it's definitely really cool. Also, really enjoying to watching all this podcast series. Yeah, it's such a great idea to get stuff like this into it as well. To even get a bit better or just another view also on different teams and what their thoughts and how they come to sim racing and how they developed. It's really interesting and really cool to get all of these ideas and to get all note of this. Really, absolutely hats off for that. Thank you. Really, sorry. Thank you very much for this.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Of course, and to all my drivers, to the team, also to the real team, such a big thank you. Huge respect for everyone who is giving their last to really push our team also more forward to get more into it, to get more great results. It's absolutely great. Big family, I have to say, it has become. It was, but it has become even bigger and even closer. So that's really cool. And I really hope that we can enjoy this and spread also our enjoyment with others. And just other brilliant racers and officials at IVRA, especially in the special events, and just enjoying our hobby, which we can participate all the time we want. So we're looking forward to that. And then I just can say, have a good racing, stay healthy, and this tricky time still. So enjoy sim racing, enjoy watching it, and enjoy the re-racing we actually have since this year once again, completely back in action. So
yeah, nice, man. Cool. Well, thanks for coming by, everybody. Bernd Schmidt, you'll see him and his team on track this weekend again. And I'll echo what he said. Hope everybody is staying well and staying healthy everywhere. And we'll be back more regular schedule now that I'm kind of settled again next week. And you guys will be listening to this soon as we wrap it up here. So thanks for coming, man. That was a really enjoyable one. See you guys soon.
Thanks for having me. See ya.